So Motorola seem to come under a little bit of criticism over the last few days with their announcement through their official blog about updates to their smartphone range. And if you've missed it, what they've essentially said is they're not necessarily going to provide upgrades to certain devices that they've released over the last 12 or 18 months unless they feel that the upgrades are going to bring a real advantage to their devices. So what that really means is a lot of devices that are currently running on Android version 2.3 won't be upgraded to Ice Cream Sandwich. Now there's been a lot of backlash to that, and there's many good reasons as to why, because people do want the updates and it is important to bring updates, but you actually have to consider it then from Motorola's point of view. It's not quite as simple as just rolling out an update. The amount of testing that has to go on, the customization of the software to give you a seamless experience is extensive, and all manufacturers have, I think, underestimated the time it takes to roll out Ice Cream Sandwich to their devices, and it's taking a lot longer than any would have expected. But the big thing is consumer satisfaction, and by not rolling out updates, it does have an effect on your satisfaction. But if you're in the prosumer and the very tech savvy, I can understand why you'd want Ice Cream Sandwich, but think about people who aren't too bothered about what smartphone they're using. They've actually just purchased a Motorola on contract, or any other device for that matter, and they wouldn't necessarily know whether it's running Android version 2.3, Android 4, or even version 6. They just want a phone that works and they get used to. Now personally, there are advantages to Ice Cream Sandwich, but I'm quite happy with Android 2.3. I've got used to the way it works, I've got no big qualms with it, but I can see the need to upgrade, and it's important for operating systems to evolve. But the big thing comes down to sort of fragmentation with Android. The rate at which it's developing is just so fast that it's very difficult for manufacturers to actually keep up and support their range without investing a lot of time and money. And it is considerably disappointing that Motorola have taken this stance, but it's also refreshing because what they're saying is their devices work well like this, and we don't necessarily believe that we need to upgrade it because Ice Cream Sandwich isn't really going to bring you that many benefits. And there is a strong argument for that, absolutely. Now Sony, on the other hand, are sort of committing to rolling out Ice Cream Sandwich to a lot of their devices, and that's pleasing a lot of people. But Joe Blogs, who's got their contract through one of the major networks, are they really that fast? They send text messages, the odd email, do a bit of web browsing. They don't actually know necessarily that it's actually Android on their phone. It's just something that works and allows them to do what they want to do. I suppose the other big consideration here is that with updates, you've got the updates to the operating system, but you've got updates to security flaws or any other issues that may come about on devices, and no manufacturer would ever not roll out an update if it was needed. If there was a bug in the software, they would do that. But the big consideration is around the next version of Android. So there are mixed opinions on it, and I have mixed feelings on it. I think Motorola perhaps have been criticised a little bit too much for not rolling out updates, because you've got to look at the bigger picture in terms of the amount of time and cost and the long-term advantage. But I must say that it is disappointing because people do want to see that they're supported by the manufacturer, and it can potentially make you lose faith in that manufacturer if they're not going to roll out updates. And a lot of this may come back to the broad range of devices that manufacturers have and the need to reduce the range of devices, which we're seeing from the likes of Sony, to enable them to actually spend more time on doing the updates, and it therefore costing them less and being a more reasonable thing to actually expect of them to produce the updates. And from the company's point of view, it's now more cost effective. They haven't got 10 or 12 devices, they've only got 4 or 5 devices to roll out the updates to, and that saves time and money. So it's an interesting topic, and I'd be interested to hear your views, so comment below. Thanks for watching.